This game to me is like NBA. We compete, and then we hug. We compete and we hug. If Ferris and Little John and all the DJs that on the street like Rock that inspire me, Sluggo, all of the guys that I hear and they get down. They get down. That lets me take my game to the next level. So we raised each other. We compete against each other to raise each other to the next level. And that's what that is about, man. Don't be emotional about the next DJ. What he doing, man? He's gonna push you. And it ain't personal. Hey, if you leave the lane open, I'm dunking on you in front of your family. Yes, sir. So I am so appreciative to have all the legendary DJs out here. Ken Bedford, he's a major supporter in the industry, and we all are falling under the Andrew Holmes Foundation against gun violence. Chicago DJs, y'all should clap that, man, clap it up, against gun violence. So of course, we got my man Farley here. We got so many legendary DJs in here, on the street and on the radio. Beyonce Fox, Ramonski Love, Casper's here. Man, the first DJ in the world, Sam Chapman. That dude can do it, boy. I still listen to Sam. I mean, what is that? 95.5. Oh, 95.1, man. Yeah, 95, man. I listen to it. DJ Calvin. Calvin, what's up? I can't even see you under the mask. This mask is messing us up. Eric E.T. Taylor, why are you down there?
Why are you down there? We're doing a video.
Okay. So, at this time, we want to start the way we all should start off our mornings every day, with prayer. All right? So I'm asking everybody to bow their head. Ramonski's going to grace us with some prayer. Hold on.
He's good.
I am that I am God, His Son, Christ Jesus, and the Spirit of the most precious Holy Ghost. Master, I come bowed down, with my arms reached out, my hands reached out to the throne of grace just to say thank you. Amen. Say thank you for each and every one of us who came out, who had it deep down in their heart to stand for something. Because our streets are being taken over by an evil spirit. It's a spiritual war. It's a spiritual war, Father, and we thank you for putting the armor on us from the top of our heads to the bottom of our feet. We ask that everybody who arrives safely will make it to their destination back home safely.
Yes, sir.
And once you leave here, have a different mindset that is just not about I'm on the radio or I'm on the two turntables. It's not about that or getting a little change. These young people are listening to us. Believe it or not, you might not think they're listening to you, but they're listening to you and they're following you. They're trying to be like you or be better than you. But Father, we ask that you continue to keep your arms around us. Thank you for the fence that you put around each and every one of us.
Yes,
Thank you for your grace and your mercy. Second opportunity, second chance. We appreciate you. Thank you for the visionaries who put this all together. And thank you, and especially you for having it in your heart to come out tonight. We want, after this day, 7 days. 7 days of peace. 7 days of peace in our streets. Father, we ask all these blessings in your mighty, mighty name. I'm crying out to you. Hear my voice. Thank you. Thank you. In your name, we say, Amen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a picture of y'all some on the first and the second floor. Like get everybody's face. Y'all mind? Okay.
All right. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you the man of the hour. The reason why we're here. This guy put this all together, man. He just, man, we work together sometimes, but this event, man, he called me and I'm dead on it. I'm dead on it till it's over with. And everybody else needs to be too. So I'd like to introduce to you, if you don't already know him, Mr. Andrew Holmes.
This ain't about me. This is about us. And if they don't understand, the message is coming through the DJs. United under one umbrella. No big eyes, no little U's. Because we got too much blood on the streets. If you can ride and bob your head to this music that's coming out from these DJs, positive music, you can stop bobbing your head for a minute, reach over to your brother and tell him, put that damn gun down. Turn that damn gun in. Stop killing each other. Black on black crime. We deal with so much racism, brutality with police, but see, just because we deal with brutality with one or two police, that don't corrupt the whole police department. Just as we got corruption everywhere on every job, we gotta do what we gotta do. And guess what? The campaign is on with the professional men that are out here to put that music out there and that message out there to stop killing our children. We're gonna protect our home. We were and doing everything else. All hell breaking law across the United States. What about home here? What about shutting down the area where they shot that 1-year-old, that 3-year-old, and the other 2 young ladies? What about going over there, shutting that whole area down until we find the shooter? He rested in somebody's bed every night. And the children in the medical examiner's office laying on something cold and still, and it ain't right. I look at their pictures every day, and they're in shock. But as we come together, go ahead. Turn them around. You're Monsky. Turn them around. Pass them out. Pass them out. Pass them out.
Let's say it today.
Yeah.
Sincere Gaston. Amaria Jones. Michaela James. Micaiah James. Can't get one of these. Lena Nunez.
Hold him up.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Too many babies dead. The reason why this touched me so bad, it touched me so hard, deep to my heart, I couldn't breathe after it, is because of this. Who is this? What's the difference? What's the difference between them and Lil Phantom? This is my son. This is your son. These kids did not deserve to die. And we have to do something today. We have to put pressure on the street. We have to put pressure on the city. We have a movement that you will hear about very futuristically. Andrew Holmes Foundation, we are pushing for an art school. They have to let us raise us. They've tried everything else. They put money in everything else. Let us raise us.
Yes.
We are the people that the kids look up to. We're on the radio all over the place. It's not one radio station.
Keep going.
Not one radio station, several radio stations. All the radio stations, urban stations came together. So we need to come together, use all of your resources, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, to figure out what's going on in the streets of Chicago, why a 1-year-old baby who can't talk died. That's what we have to do. So we will push the Andrew Holmes Foundation as far as we can push it and as long as we can push it. Somebody got some sources, funds, give up one of the 2,000 schools you closed. Only thing we need is one at a time. South side, west side. I'm committing today. Who else is committing? Let me see your hands if you commit. Each one teach one. This is what it's going to take to move this movement. At this time, I'm going to give it back to Andrew.
Y'all charge this to my head, not my heart. Let me have your baby. Let me have your baby. Let me Let me have that baby right there. And let me have that little baby right there. Bring that other little baby up here. It's another baby somewhere. She say her birthday coming up. Where you at? It's a little lady. She say her birthday coming up. Where you at, little lady? I seen her. Okay.
These are the babies.
There she is, right here. Come on, look. Come on over here. Come here. Come on over. The only difference.
Take your time, brother. You're
Yeah.
gonna be all right. Come on, brother.
The only difference. A damn fool took our kid's life. Then you want to sit around here and think it's a joke. I'm reaching out to those of you doing time in the penitentiary. I don't care where you at. Work the phones and find out who took these babies' life. They were children just like these kids right here. And if we don't protect our children, then we're nobody and we ain't standing for nobody.
That's right. That's right.
The elected officials, I got this to say to you. Stop barking back and forth with each other arguing. Let's do something for our kids. Put the funds in the hands of these DJs who have 501c3s that can do something. You want to find out where to put the money at? Put it right here, these gentlemen right here who's getting the positive message out. Because if we don't save these babies, then we standing for nothing.
Yes, sir. Amen, bro.
We standing for nothing. And to the individuals that's in these cars, you driving while these punks hanging out the window and these babies playing, you just as guilty as pulling that trigger. And guess what? To the females, the same thing. Stop riding in the cars with them, laughing, thinking it's a joke, because they falling. And guess what? You're going to be doing just as much as time as them. We got to protect these babies right here. This is our future. Just like Phantom said, these are our kids. I don't care what race and creed and color they are, these are our kids.
Right.
And if you're in office, guess what? You see these powerful men out here now? We're going to use social media. We're going to stand in front of your office until you put the funds where they're supposed to be in this city and fund these schools. You can give us a building and let us do what we want to do and put the arts and the science in there and raise our children.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're going to raise our children, so we're going to use our message straight through social media because we got a diverse class of men out here. Hispanics, whites, black. We got them all. Send this message to national DJs across the United States. Take a stand. If they can walk through cities and shut cities down, then why in the hell you went over there when they shot that baby, that 1-year-old baby, to shut that West Side down? Why you ain't on 63rd and Halsted and shut that Inglewood area down till you find the killer? Why you went on the North Side shutting that area down and find the killer of this baby right here? Start shutting these areas down, closing these houses down, going through them, finding out who the shooter is, all across the sets. GDs, BDs, Vice Lords, whatever you call your name. I have much respect for you, but I'm gonna have more respect for you when you do what you're supposed to do and turn that shooter in and don't let him sleep, because our kids can't breathe.
Yes.
I just got. Thank you very much.
Okay, this man is legendary. This man is one of the first DJs to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sam Chapman.
Thank you very much. I'm looking at the cell phones. I just want to make a mention of the cell phones. Everybody got a cell phone. I have not seen one cell phone turn in a license plate of a shooter this year. Why not? You ain't got to tell the police your name. You can call anonymous. Take a picture of that license. You mean nobody see nothing? Oh, come on, please. Take the picture of the license plate and turn it in to the police. That's all you got to do. And the shooting will stop.
There you go. You know
All right.
How about that? Talk about
Okay.
that.
Red light camera.
You heard me?
Okay.
Catching all the riders with them cameras. Catch them killers with them cameras. Catch them killers with them cameras. Catch
All right.
them killers with them cameras.
Run that red light, it's catching you, and it's giving you a ticket. And if you discharge that weapon and run through that light, guess what? That vehicle right there.
All right. All right. Our next speaker for the day. Please make some noise for Mr. Casper.
I just want to say to the public, like my man was saying about the red light cameras, there's so many cameras posted up in the neighborhood. So many people got these ring cameras now. So for you to tell me that nobody see nothing when something happens in the neighborhood, we have to stand up. We have to take charge. We have to turn in the killers. Forget about snitches and stitches. Let's give our neighborhood some stitches. Let's sew our neighborhood up together. Make things happen for our kids. It's not only the kids, I'm talking about these seniors that's getting beat up and robbed. It could be your mama, your grandmama, your grandfather. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this. If we can't come together as a people, then we can't come together. Everybody marched, and don't get me wrong, it was for a good cause. They marched for George Floyd in Minnesota. Okay? What about Chicago? Where it's happening at heart? They talking about all lives matter, Black lives matter. What about our babies' lives? What about our senior lives? What about our lives? We can ride out here right now, and a car ride by and kill us. We all videotaping this. How many of y'all videotaped that car that did the shoot? So my thing is this, and this is all I want to say to you, and I'm gonna step back. God has brought me through a lot. A lot of y'all don't even know the story. I ain't even gonna get into the story. But guarantee you this, I guarantee you this. He got me here for a reason. And I'm gonna show you all, whether it be with you all or without you all, what my potential situation is. What he got me here for. Because I don't care who it is. If I see something, it could be Ramonski. If I see Ramonski doing wrong, I'm turning his ass in. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, you all get that same attitude and mentality for your neighborhood, it'll become a much better Chicago. And not only for Chicago, I want the DJs all around the country to do what we doing today. If we did that, the kids listen to the music, y'all, and we play it. So if we play it and say it, maybe they'll follow us, y'all, all right? So I want everybody to do me a favor. Put your fist in the air and say, I will. I will. I will. I will. Protect my neighborhood. Protect my neighborhood. I will. I will. Protect my neighborhood. Protect my neighborhood. I will. I will. Protect my children. Protect my children. I will. I will. Protect your children. Protect your children. I will. I will. Protect our seniors. Protect our seniors. And no matter what. And no matter what. From this day forth. Anything that I see going wrong, I'm going to try to make it right. All lives matter, y'all.
What up, Theo? You know how we doing it, man. We out here on this positive move, man. Making it happen.
All right.
All the DJs.
Here's the next person that I want to bring to the microphone is one of my brothers we've come from some rough areas. We both came from Robert Taylor. DJ Emmanuel came from Robert Taylor. So we came from some bad areas, but I made quite a life for myself from DJing in the music industry, and he has too. So I'd like to introduce to you, DJ Sluggo.
Well, I actually bumped into Phantom in Walmart, and he explained to me what was going on. And during this pandemic, I have been social distancing and staying in the house and doing lives. But when he told me, you know, watching these kids and watching these youth die, I got to come outside. So my problem with this whole situation is I don't want to be about the problem. I want to be about the solution. So the solution, like I was telling Phantom on the phone, is when you tell these kids to put down the guns, what are you telling them to pick up? Put down the guns and pick up what? You understand what I'm saying? So you got to get these kids something to do. When we came up, we had activities to do. There were park districts, there were gyms, there were activities to do. So when you telling a child or teenagers to put down guns, and these guns are their way of survival, then what are they picking up in place of the guns? So the politicians, the people with the funds, things like that, you have to put something in place, because you can't tell me to put the gun down and I don't pick anything up. It's my way. Sadly, for African American young men, it's their way of survival. So if you're telling them to put down the guns, what am I picking up in place of the gun? So put something in place for these guys to put in their hands instead of guns. And I told Phantom on 111 in Wentworth, right next to Rosen Hospital, we decided to stop asking. You know, we grew up in a real rough neighborhood, and I decided, me and my little brother decided, like, look, you know, enough is enough. We're not gonna beg nobody to do nothing for us when we can really do it on our own. 111 in Wentworth, right next to the Rosen Hospital, me and my brother decided to buy the cleaners right there. And we're turning it into a school of the arts for the kids. And it's free. And we did it out of our pocket. We didn't ask for nothing. We like 80% finished with it. And if people want to give funding, fine. If not, we're gonna find a way. We're not gonna beg anybody to save our kids when we can save our own. I grew up, it's called the Urban Arc, the name of the school. My brother came up with a crazy idea and was like, we're gonna make it like Noah's Ark, but we're gonna call it the Urban Arc. So it's right on the 111 in Wentworth, right next to Rosen Hospital. If you ride past, you will see the sign. We just got the sign finished. And we decided to do it out of our, you know, deep. When you say these are your kids, I got a grandson that's finna be 1. You will not kill mine.
Yes.
You and the sad part about it is I'm still in these streets and able to speak to these youngsters. And y'all don't understand, the only thing these youngsters is missing is love. Yeah. They feel abandoned. They feel like y'all abandoned them. They tell me, V-Dub, Ferris, Farley, all of us, we abandoned them. When they needed us, they you know, their fathers are locked up doing time. We supposed to raise them. So when they feel abandoned, they saying, well, I mean, I ain't listening. If you really going to Inglewood, going into neighborhoods, they're gonna tell you, man, we not listening to you old dudes. Under no circumstances, unless you got something that makes sense to me. So if I'm telling you, hey, put this gun down, I got this little job for you, it ain't gonna pay you what you making on the streets, but you don't gotta look over your shoulder. You ain't gotta look over your shoulder, I got something for you to do. Give these kids something to do. I don't care what nationality they are. Give them something to do, and it's gonna save lives, period. So, tell them to put the guns down and pick up what? What are you gonna give them in place to pick up when you ask them to put those guns down? All right?
All right, y'all. All right, next up, it's the king of house music, Farley Jackmaster Funk.
Testing 1, 2. Anybody out here born in the 50s? I know that makes you old, very old. If you're born in the 60s, raise your hand. If you're born in the 70s, raise your hands. If you're born in the 80s, what has changed? Come on, I want to hear you. Speak up. Let everybody hear you. What has changed? What has changed that there's a new life that dies every time somebody discharges a revolver? Another child dies. Another mother cries. Another father cries. Come on. What we got to do is we got to get funding for the things in the African American community. We've been watching black exploitation movies in the 70s. We were living in hard-to-do areas. Some people got middle-class parents that they grew up in middle-class homes. Wasn't a lot of them, okay? We got to make change within ourselves. We need more entrepreneurs. You got to look outside of what you're doing right now. You got to become your own boss so that you can create a situation for somebody else. Your blessing is connected to somebody else's blessing. When we don't walk in the area that God wants us to walk in, we're actually cutting off the next generation. Most people out here, when you see a bad kid walking past, you say, look at his bad ass. But all he needed was a hug, and he would have turned from some of his wicked ways, and somebody would just show him some love, some attention. Amen. A lot of people do the things they do just because they want attention. Yeah. Now, do me a favor. Everybody just do a pandemic roundabout right here in the parking lot for me. Just do that one time. Just turn around one time. Ain't no hokey pokey, but just turn around one time. The reason why I asked you to do that is because we got problems with each other.
That's right. Amen.
We got problems with each other, standing right next to each other. How we gonna make change and we got problems with each other? When we gonna get past each other?
Come on.
Every echelon of every piece of business, you got aldermen who can't get along with aldermen.
That's right.
You got commissioners that can't get along. You got DJs who can't get along.
Yes, sir.
Facebook is full of a bunch of shit right now with folks arguing about who played the best mix and the best record.
Thank you.
See, I'm gonna tell you like this, until we can look in the mirror, man in the mirror, begin to make change with ourselves, everything we saying is gonna fall on deaf ears. We gotta look within, and when we can change what within, what God do with us, then we can begin to help somebody else. But we look real funny trying to tell somebody to stop doing something, and we get on the street and somebody pull out in front of us, and we mad and we ready to fight before we can get off the parking lot.
Yes.
So what I'm saying, we gotta look within. Thank you.
Again,
Yes, sir, Farley.
what he says is right.
Yes, sir.
And then you know what we gotta do? If you mad at somebody, you go and tell them you mad at them. Don't tell somebody else.
Come on, bro.
You make them feel uncomfortable. If that person is wrong, you have to come against them. We have to come against them. There's no two ways of right and wrong. It's just a right and a wrong, and that's it. So at this time, I want to introduce to you a man that's very prestige in the Chicagoland area, Mr. Ken Bedford.
1, 2. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. I just want to say my name is Ken Bedford, and it's very good to see so many black men out here today. We have to take charge. I am so sick and tired of being sick and tired. Every week we hear the police and officials say, it's got to stop, it's got to stop. Now it really has to stop. And this is a beginning. Let this be a beginning tonight, that we take this to the next step. We can do this. We can do this. We are the men of our community. We cannot let those that have gone astray fall through the cracks. We love them, we have to show them love, and we can build our community and make our community into something. So this is very impressive. All these DJs, we all have voices. We can take our voices out, your voices go out, one tells another, one helps another one, and we can stop this. It starts right here. And from this day on, this weekend should be shooting free. Let's make this weekend shooting free. If we have to be on every corner and talk to these young people, because the people are not talking to the people that are causing a problem. We are, it's like the church, we're preaching to the choir. We are all law-abiding, but we have to be able to talk to the ones that are in the gangs that are causing a problem. We have to make that line of communication so we can discuss what it is they're doing, what it is that they need to stop doing, so we can make our kids be not targets. Thank you so much.
You know what we need? We need 7 days of peace.
A whole year of peace. Every day of
Well,
peace.
we want to start with 7. We don't want to overwhelm them. Let's start with 7 days. So Chicagoland area, everywhere that there's gun violence against kids, we need to preach 7 days of peace on all of our social media. 7 days of peace. We're going into the holiday weekend, and it's Independence Day, and we need 7 days of peace. It's the holiday. It's not ours. 7 days of peace. All right, the next guy I want to bring to the stage is DJ V-Dub from WGCI Radio.
What's up, y'all? Just got out work. Glad to see everybody come out here. You know, since it's a DJ event, I just speak from a DJ aspect. I'm a DJ who's, my whole career was based on the street, and you know, so I feel for the people that's out there doing what they do. But as DJs, I think we got to hold ourselves accountable. I put a post up the other day about how it seems like all we want to do is chase the bag and be famous. As DJs, I think a lot of things that we put up, and it's being watched. You know, I enjoy it when my DM is full of people telling me that they appreciate, they see what I do with my family and my son, as opposed to just always smoking weed, showing money. I'm always DJing. Now, you ain't been DJing, that's for sure. That's over with. So a lot of egos got crushed with that, with COVID. But let's hold ourselves, let's hold ourselves accountable as DJs, what we put out to these shorties, what they see us do. I'd rather for the next person to know me as a serious grown man that takes care of his family that happens to be a DJ.
Yes, sir.
You know, remember something. They took prayer out to school for a reason. Okay? They're trying to make a godless planet. If you all ain't paying attention to that, you need to. So this is going to start with the reconstruction of the family, bringing back structure from each individual out here. If you have a child, it starts with you. If you're a father, it starts with what you're going to show so that your son is going to look up to you. If your pants sagging, he going to want to sag his pants. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a mother, single, or in a family structure, what you do is going to decide what she do. Extensions and eyelashes and quick money is more important to you. That's going to be the same thing important to her. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm saying stuff people don't really want to hear. And I'm sorry. But I am V-Dub, the Midwest Big State Bully, so you know I'm going to talk a little crazy. Please be accountable for your own right now. If everybody in this lot knows where their teenage child is for the next 7 days, you starting the process. Okay? Because believe one thing, if legislation was put in place, if parents did some of the time for what they teenagers are doing in the street, all of a sudden we'll have some moms and dads around here, acting like moms and dads. So as DJs, let's just be careful what we put out to the public, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for anything the Phantom comes up with. You know, I'm a trade guy, so I'm always pushing the trades. You know what I mean? You could DJ, you could be in these streets, but you got to learn something, man, you know? Come on through. Hey, come get this electrical work. Let's get it.
And we need that. All right, y'all make some noise for V-Dub, WGCI. All right, this next gentleman that I want to bring forward, we already said everything, so he really don't have too much to say. But I really want to bring him forward because I know he's busy. Like he's the top hip-hop DJ in Chicago, hands down. And he was responsible. He said, hey, man, I'm leaving GCI. You need to get your stuff together. And I did. 20 years later, here I am. So y'all give it up for Mr. DJ Ferris.
I know these guys have touched on like every base possible. What's happening is kind of really, you know, unbelievable, especially with everything else that's going on in this day and age. This is like the last thing that we need to be dealing with. You know, we on a whole different movement right now, and we on this Black Lives Matter, and Chicago need to get on board. Plain and simple, and this V-Dub basically touched on every basic family structure is where it starts at. A lot of these kids coming up with no fathers, mothers not being able to raise men, no guidance, no education, no jobs, no trades. We need to change things for the future for the shorties. Basically, we need to set examples for them and give them constructive things to do besides running the streets. And give them better examples than the guys hanging out on the corners. But it all starts at home with the family. So these guys touch bases, and I'm down with this whole movement, whatever I can do to lend a hand. If we can start workshops for these shorties, et cetera, I'm into it. Non-profit to get them off the streets, to get them jobs. I'm with that. I'm with the whole movement. I'm more than just a DJ. I'm a father myself, and I just could only imagine the pain that these families are going through losing these kids. No parent should have to bury their kid. Your kid should not leave before you. So I can imagine their pain, and I would never want to feel that pain, so I'd rather help make a change before, you know, any of us have to feel that. So I'm down with the whole movement, man. Let's do this.
Work, that would work. Make some noise for Ferris, y'all. Now, we got one more person, a couple more people. I want to bring this guy to the stage. We got a lot of power out here. We got a lot of power out here. This next man I'd like to bring to the stage is one of my favorite comedians. He's doing so much on the air every day. He's on Fox. This man is going like he's all out. So he's got two names, DJ LR and Leon Rogers.
Give it up for him. Give it up for him.
What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling, man? Real quick, I'm not gonna bore y'all. I can't do this. I gotta talk without. I'm not gonna bore y'all. I'm not gonna bore y'all, man. But real talk, I want to say this. The 3 letters that I go by, and I've been saying this on the radio every day, and my brother Cal can attest to that. Beyonce, Fox, my people that's out here rocking with us in the struggle. We gotta start looking in the mirror. I'm tired of people coming up to me in the street wanting me to raise your child. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I play music on the radio that gets selected by what you wanna hear, right? Same way in the club, these DJs play what you wanna hear. If we start changing the dynamic of what we wanna hear, you know what I'm saying? Come to my household, my kids know the soundtrack to Grease. Right. Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? Hamilton. You know what I'm saying? Expose your babies to different things, and when they're around you all the time, make them listen to the things you listen to. But if you listening to the rah-rah like they like to listen to, you can't really tell them nothing. Now, I'm not telling you to curb your point of music, but what I'm saying is we have to start looking in the mirror. When you I want everybody to go through their phones at one point in time and then start looking at selfies and look at different points in your life, and you could tell how happy you was then, and you could tell how happy you are now. You'll see the stress in your face. That's that mirror. You gotta look in that mirror every day. I preach community, positivity, and solidarity. It takes a village. We all got to be positive, and we all got to be on the same page pushing for one goal. Like Farley said, if we arguing with each other, the people that's supposed to be listening to us ain't going to listen to us because we arguing with each other. When we all is one, and you get on these aldermen's asses in your communities that's not doing nothing, it starts with the lower level government. You got to hit them first. It ain't getting to Congress and all that. Get that lower level government first. Get their ass out of offices. They're not doing for you what you need done. Then they start waking up, because next thing you know, you go up a next level higher. When you go to vote, pay attention to the judges on the circuit court ballots. Don't just blow past them. You know what I'm saying? And this may sound petty as hell, but I went to court for something one day. It was a ticket, and dude maxed me out, suspended my license and everything. I remembered his name. When I went to go vote, you won't get me again. Sound petty as hell, but that's what you gotta do. You gotta do your homework. It's not just about the president and vice president and all that. It's about everybody that's down, the people that can affect you first. You gotta get them out the way first before you can get a seat at the higher table. So we gotta start having people that speak for us, people that when we say we tired of gun violence, they voice and resonate the same thing and don't just shut up because somebody offered them $100 million contract deal to build buildings in their area. That's what you gotta stop. And until that gets stopped, we ain't going nowhere. But it starts with us. Community, positivity, solidarity. I will preach that to the day I die, to the day they take me off the radio, and even then, when I'm doing stand-up, talking crazy to somebody somewhere, I'ma say it. And I appreciate the DJ Phantom and them that reached out to me to say, hey, Leon, come, because we consider you a DJ too. I picked up DJing as a hobby, and a lot of these guys out here supported me when I did it. Big E, my man, B-Man, V-Dub, everybody. They remember when I started, so it's an honor. What's your slogan? Man, the destined legend, huh? DJ L, pull up on me. So I'm just happy that they even respect me enough or think I'm good enough to even come up here and speak to y'all about this. I'm very passionate about my community. I'm from Washington Heights, 98th and Loomis. I went to St. Margaret Scotland School. I still do a food pantry there every weekend with my mother. We feed 50 to 60 people every week. These are the things that we need to start doing. We need to keep our feet entrenched in our community. Yeah, I moved out to the south suburbs, but I'm home every weekend, messing with my people. They still know me over there as Lee. They don't know Leon Rogers. They know Lee, Lil Lee. And I want it to always be like that. And I get a little irritated talking about it, man. I'm a little choked up because to see these babies and stuff dying, it kills me, man. It kills. I got 3 girls, man. I'm so scared to let them go out the house, go visit their cousins in the city. I shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? And if it's any wolves out here, man, wolves, y'all want to deal with each other? Do your thing. Y'all in that life, I get it. But y'all out here taking out people that ain't got nothing to do with that. The lady that's going to get a cup of coffee in the morning before she go to school to teach some kids, to teach our babies. The fireman that's going to go work 5 days in a row away from his family. You know what I'm saying? The banker, the doctor, the future lawyer, the future president, the future DJ, the future actress. Y'all taking them out. That ain't gangster. How can you sit and look at yourself in the mirror and sleep well knowing it's a 3-year-old body on your count? Man, you soft. Because guarantee you if you put the pistol down and had to use these, you hoe up. Guarantee you. So forgive me for getting out my body a little bit, but when we had to report this stuff every day, man, it wears on you, bro. You go home and hug your kids. Like, I swear to God, like, I feel so bad. Like, when they ask me, can they go do something, I'm be like, no, because I don't want that phone call. Because I know my kids ain't own nothing, but it's everybody else that's on something that affects your life, too. Community, positivity, solidarity. I love y'all, Chicago. Peace.
Y'all give it up for Leon.
All right, next up, on the same show, Mr. Kyle Centillion.
What up, Chicago? How y'all feeling? What up, Chicago? How y'all feeling? First and foremost, I want to say I'm happy to see everybody out here today. I'm happy to see that Phantom and all of the DJs came together. Brother Andrew came out here today to make this thing happen, and I feel like everybody has pretty much touched everything that we need to talk about. But one of the things that I feel like we need to really drive home is the fact that if we're here today and we're listening to this message, well, obviously, we're not the ones that are causing the problem, right? So we got to figure out a way that we can get the message that we're hearing today to the people that need to hear the message. And that's kind of one of the points that I wanted to drive home. And I'm not going to stay up here long. The only thing I really wanted to say is, like Leon mentioned, every morning on WGCI, you know, we have a responsibility to talk to you all, talk to the people, related information. And it's heartbreaking when I got to get up in the morning and I got to do the headline news. And I know I have to talk about a 1-year-old got shot, a 3-year-old got shot, a 12-year-old lost their life. You know what I mean? These things are heartbreaking. And I know, like Phantom said earlier, they're putting together the plan to get back into the communities and give back to the people in need. And one of the things I know that we can do is provide and share that information. I know the mic come out. Provide an avenue to share that information. So what I want to say to anybody out here that has those avenues that are going on and that they're putting together, feel free to reach out to us. A lot of times people might come up to us and say, yo, well, why didn't I see y'all over here supporting this? Or why didn't y'all tell us about that? We don't always know every single individual thing that's happening unless you reach out and tell us. So hit us up on our social medias, shoot us that email on WGCI.com page, whatever the case may be. If you get us the information that's going to help the community, then we vow to get that information out there to the people that need it, all right? So that's all I wanted to say. Peace, man. Everybody be good, be safe, and let's protect these babies, man. We love y'all.
Let me get one in, Phantom, and then we're going to let the strong lady close it out. Let me get Miss Community Actress, Miss Gloria. Come on up here.
That's my sister.
How you all doing, Chicago? Well, I am a Chicago police officer, and I've been one for 22 years. And my thing is, I love my community, I love my people. I'm not the average police officer. I go in my pocket daily for kids in the community. If you ever heard of the Chicago first father-daughter dance, well, I created that because my daughter went to a private school, and you know, they have all these activities. So I say, well, by me working in Inglewood and Caps, why can't my kids in the community that I work for, why they can't have programs like this? So I created that father-daughter dance. There was fathers came out that have never did things like this before with their children. So if we can come together as a community and work together and do things for our kids, like these guys were saying, you know, they have trays. Let's start getting trays like these abandoned houses in the community. Let's talk to our aldermen and try to get these houses so we can open up these houses for trades. People can come in and teach the kids how to learn how to do trades. We take these kids out the community. That was one of my goals, was when I was working to take these kids to Springfield. I combined the seniors with the youth, because guess what? Our youth do not respect our seniors. And we have to make them respect our seniors. We have to show them. I'm a single parent. I had to raise my son on my own and my daughter on my own. And guess what? My son is a college graduate from Grambling. My daughter is her sophomore year in school. I cannot teach, ladies, I want to repeat this. I cannot teach my son how to be a man. I cannot stand in that bathroom with him and say, hold it over like this. But I had to reach out to men that I work with, people in my community, to say, help me because I need help with my son. If I can't do that for my kids to make sure that my kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing, then I fail as a parent. And every day I see this out here on the street. You don't understand how I feel, one, being a black woman and being a police officer on the street. It is hard. It is very hard, because the first thing they say is, F you, you work for the people. No, I work for me. Everything I do for me, and I come out my pocket for the community. And anybody that knows me, that lives in Inglewood, that has heard of me, you know my word is my bond. I'm going to take care and do what I need to do. But I'm asking you, as single mothers that are out here and mothers that are married, let these young men be young men. If there is no man positive in their life, get somebody that you trust, a grandfather, an uncle. You even got to reach out to a church. Get these men, all these men here in the DJ, I respect you all. I appreciate what you all are doing, but we got to do better. It starts at home, somebody said. If you are in a broken home, you can actually survive. All you have to do is stick with somebody. And like they said, the people that need to hear this, they're not here. So we have to be their voice. We have to go out. You see somebody doing wrong, talk to them. You don't got to be hard with them. My approach is I talk to them like they mine. I treat them like they mine. I want respect. I'm going to give you respect. We got to work together in this community. We can't take blocks all at time. We got to do one block at a time. So on your block, let's just reach out to these young men and talk to them. Say hi. Say hi to them. It don't hurt to say hi. Ask them how they doing. And you be surprised at what they say. Man, ain't nobody never asked me how I'm doing. Ain't nobody never hugged me. That's what these guys say on the street. Because they don't have a father. And a lot of times they don't have the mother either too. Because the mother smoking, the daddy smoking, or the daddy in jail, and the grandmama too old. Because I deal with the grandparents too. They tired. They've raised their kids. But we as a community got to come together, and we got to help our community, because we are the ones that live here, and we are the ones that got to take care of our community. I'm not going to stand here and preach. I'm going to let it turn it over. But thank you all for coming out. Stop the violence.
Amen. Amen. All right. Next up, we're going to bring up a very familiar voice, Miss Beyonce Fox from V103. Y'all give it up for her.
Hey. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I am blessed to have an awesome job on the radio, but to me, it is ministry. I've been doing it for 20 years now, and I just want to let you know that you're out here for a reason. We are all out here together for a reason. So we have to begin to not only talk the talk, but walk the walk, because children are looking at us. They're watching us. They see everything that we do. They emulate us. They want to be us. So it is up to everybody who is out here today to get a kid, grab them, mentor, volunteer on the weekends. The smallest thing that you do can make the biggest difference. Trust me when I tell you, every weekend I'm delivering food in my truck by myself in every neighborhood to people who don't have it. I volunteer every weekend, no matter what the weather, it can be pouring, whatever, and these things make a difference. You may not think it makes a difference, but again, the smallest thing that we do in our community can change a life. I got a text today, not a text, but a message from Sincere Gaston's grandmother, who said that their family is absolutely devastated. She wrote me on Facebook, and that right there just really changed the game. I promised her that I was gonna do everything in my power to make it right in my community. And I challenge you guys to join me. So whoever's opening schools and DJ things and all of that stuff, if you have something going on in your community, hit me up. I will fall through, I'll volunteer, I'll do whatever I have to do to make my community greater. Much love to everybody. God bless you.
Real deal. All right. Okay, last. Well, we got a couple more pieces. This person right here has got to speak. My DJ brother, somebody that I've been competing with for years, and I thank him. He's in my, he's on my bumper. I'm on his bumper. He has groomed me. We've raised each other. Mr. DJ Lil Jon.
Y'all give it up for Lil Jon.
Hey everybody. Was thinking about what to say. I'm usually not a loss for words. You may not see me on social media much unless I'm promoting somewhere I'm gonna be, and that's the way I use it. I treat it, y'all old school, you know how we used to hang posters on the pole? That's how I treat Facebook. I put the post on the pole, that's where I'm gonna be, and I don't stick around to see who's gonna take it down, who's watching. I spend most of my time behind the scenes. I have 3 boys, and when they were much younger, from like 8, 12, and 14, they used to tag along with me. Some of y'all remember I had a record pool in the Cermak building for over 10 years. They used to come with me down there, and it was a blessing. Actually, it was 14 years. It was a blessing to be self-employed and a father for 14 years. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Can I get an amen on that, though? So look, for those 14 years, not only did I raise and grow my sons and a couple of my nephews because I had an old crew, they watched me move around. The youngest, they used to tag with me when I worked at GCI. He was shooting garbage can basketballs. He was this big. He is 6 feet now, and he plays across the street. Luckily, he didn't get my jeans, because he never would have made it. But I said that to say this. One day, I came home, and they were in my apartment above my parents' building, and they had, my oldest son had my old broken laptop, my middle son had a toy laptop, and my baby boy had a shoebox that somebody drew into a laptop. I'm like, what are y'all doing? We playing. What kind of game is that? We playing Office. What is Office? Like you, Daddy. I'm like, oh. Forget about each one, teach one. Each one influence one. Just lead by example. Just do what you do for real, and they will follow. Keep them close with you. Real talk. I didn't even have to work at it. Today I'm working at it. Well, luckily, and I know I don't look my age, my oldest is 30, my middle is 27, and the baby boy is 22, the 6'1". And he was going to the Philippines to play ball. COVID shut that down. Oh, he was tight-grilled for 2 weeks until he realized the effect of COVID, and he came to me and was like, Dad, I didn't mean to have an attitude. He's still at the house, by the way. I didn't mean to have an attitude, but now I realize I could have been stuck over there and not here. So to this day, I'm still mentoring him, and he's in my ear about what Phantom just talked to me about the other day, about a nonprofit, about his DBA license, and about the LLCs. I'm like, hold on, who you been talking to? But you had one. I'm like, you was paying attention, really? You was what, 12? You can influence these kids. You can influence your neighbor's kids. You can influence your brothers, sisters, cousins' kids. If you're an influence, though. The right influence. And I know most of us here obviously have kids. That's what drove us here, too. If you have those kids, influence them, please, please. That's all I really want to say.
Y'all give it up for Lil John.
Go through the wallet and put it back. Ain't shit in there.
All right, the next speaker up, I want you guys to hear what she has to say. Her name is Dominique Jasmine.
How y'all doing? It's a blessing to be here. So I'm gonna make this quick. But I know a lot of these DJs because they were around during my younger years when I thought it was cool and it was cute and I was just Isis the little body. I was in a club, you know, I wasn't a dancer, but I twerked and I had a good time, right? But as I realized that I was an influencer, I realized that I had to shift what it was that I was doing because there were so many people paying attention to me, right? I knew that I was a role model, being a black, beautiful queen in Chicago, you know, being, you know, a little popular, social media popping. You know, I gave birth, I have a daughter, I have a son too, but I have a daughter and I had to realize, like, is this what I want to see her doing? It's not. So, you know, I shift and I started a nonprofit organization called Empower Urban Communities. Empower Urban Communities does some of everything. People tell me you're doing too much. You can't do everything. But the truth is, it's not enough people doing enough. So I have to do everything that I can because I know it's the whole person that may need assistance. So I specialize in conflict resolution. I repeat, conflict resolution. That's where we use strategies in order to sit down and do things such as peace circles in order to resolve conflicts amongst friends, families, strangers, in order to try to prevent some of the unnecessary violence, as well as some of the broken households, as well as some of the unhealthy relationships amongst family members. I try to link people with mentors. I'm happy to see so many additional people that I can add to the roster because I run into young men and young women that need mentors. I help with financial literacy. I'm 30 years old. For my birthday, I'm buying my 5th piece of property. Look, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to say that God has blessed me, and although, you know, my parents come from complicated situations, and I'm just a kid from Inglewood. I grew up in Inglewood. I don't come from privilege. My father has been incarcerated for over 15 years. I've, you know, overcome many things. But I try to teach that resilience. I try to use that resilience in order to help build resilience in others. I try to help people to heal because I've been a victim of many things, and I know that that hurt really does cause us to hurt other people. But as long as we love on each other, as long as we link in with each other, we're able to help each other to make it through things that sometimes we don't even realize that we're dealing with. A lot of us are fighting battles, and a lot of us have not been taught how to resolve our conflict. A lot of us don't know the impact that we're making on other families when we resort to violence, or even as small as attitudes or shutting down. So I just wanted to have a moment of you all's time to let you all know that, again, my name is Dominique Jasmine, and I'm the founder of Empower Urban Communities. I would love to, you know, link with anybody and share my contact information. I do have a website, www.empoweruc.org. You can always reach out to me at empoweruc@gmail.com. I literally sit down and do one-on-ones to see how can I help people in need. I am a social worker. I do untraditional therapy. I'm trying to build a team in order to be able to expand these services. My goal right now is to raise enough funds in order to purchase homes, powerhouses in the most impoverished communities in the Chicagoland area in order to target the multiple issues that we are dealing with. So everybody just stay blessed. Just love our neighbors. We can't come together in situations like this. We can't rally. We can't say positive things on our posts and have attitudes. We have to be positive. We have to love our neighbors because we never know what people are going through. When I was in those clubs having a good time, I was depressed. That's the truth. Like it was an escape, but it wasn't the right escape. I started praise dancing. I started mentoring. I'm a teacher and a social worker, and it feels great. And everybody can reach whatever goal it is and whatever it is that they have inside of them. Sometimes we just need to link with other people to help give us that extra push, no matter how young, no matter how old. So I want you all to stay blessed. I want you all to link with someone. If you don't need services, volunteer with someone because it's hard. I'm gonna tell you, as a woman, I do events, I do back to school bashes, I drop off Thanksgiving dinners, I do all of this stuff, right? And I'm exhausted because I do 85% of it by myself. I'm carrying stuff by myself. Like yesterday, I'm driving around, dropping this stuff off door to door by myself because the support not there. But I know, that's gonna change. So that's why I keep pushing. And I know that now I have a wonderful team of people that I can volunteer with and that will volunteer with me so that we can continue to work together to push for the change that we want to see in Chicago. Thank you all for your time.
All right. Hey, real quick. We're going to get a good group picture real quick because we got Al Greer and we got a message he wants to put out here. Can you all come up this way and turn around and face the other way? And to get this picture real quick, Dean, we're going to send this national about unity. And also, come on up. Where you at, Lil John?